Hello, my cultured cuties, and welcome back to the Cultured Club. I'm your host, Lauren. Long time no see. I'm so excited you're back. I'm so excited you're here. I'm so excited to be here myself. I took some time off last week, so long time no see. I am feeling hydrated and medicated and only slightly traumatized because I had a really bad bacterial infection last week, which definitely feels on trend for 2025. Definitely felt like that should have been on the bingo card, but it definitely wasn't. But I should have expected it. I should have seen it coming, but it knocked me out, guys. Knocked me out. I was not feeling well. I was down for the count. Everything was just the worst. And I couldn't do anything. And you know, when you're sick and you don't want to do anything except for like childhood crafts or childhood things because they make you feel better. I dove in with both feet into my childhood. I brought examples to show you. I dove so headfirst. I did one of these little crafts to like get better. This was so hard to do. This took me like 4 hours to do because I wasn't feeling well. I had the worst headache. I was so sleepy, but I was so scared of taking a finger off because you have one of those punch needles when you're doing embroidery, it's like an embroidery hoop, right? You have one of those bigger needles to punch with the thread through. I was so scared of taking a finger off. So this heart design with 3 different layers of yarn was so hard to do. This took me forever, like 4 hours. I went through Fired Up and I went through Jessica Simpson's Private Valentine, Blonde Ambition, Private Valentine. Is that what it is? Her movie where she's in the army because she's a celebrity who had a bad day. It's a movie that's so bad, it's so good. So I watched those 2 movies to get through one of these and I just couldn't. I was down for the count, guys. It is so good to be back though. It was tough. Having a bacterial infection is so unfun. It's the worst. But I will tell you, I made a very exciting discovery. I found my Nintendo DS. In the Nintendogs case, I screamed. I am so excited to have found this. This is the original Nintendo. This is the original Nintendo DS that I possessed at one time in my life. And I hate the color, but I'm obsessed with the stickering that's happening. I have so many stickers that I plan on putting on this thing because I had way too much fun. I have Nintendogs and Imagine Babies. What is this? Nintendogs is one of those games that you could play forever and ever and ever and then still feel bad when you turn it off because the dog just lives there. The dog is just there and you feel bad for turning the game off. Like, what happens unless you take it to the doggy hotel? Your dog just sits in that apartment and starves? ? I have no idea. But I was so excited to have found this. I was so stoked to have recovered this. It was an exciting discovery. We were going through some boxes of mine and I found this and I was so stoked. Oh my God. I'm trying to reclaim pieces of my childhood. I'm trying to put collections back together of things that I had, things I was really interested in, hence the movie tower, all the, the board games and things in my life. I found a bunch of VHS tapes. I found a few of my old Webkins, which, oh my God, Webkins browser extension or the browser game platform is coming back in 2025. I believe it's either 2025 or very early 2026. And I'm so excited because I just found 3 or 4 of mine and my sister's Webkins. I'm so stoked. I found the hippopotamus, I found the bunny, I found the dog, and I found the Google. Is that, why did I say it like that? The Google thing. It looks like a platypus, but it's not a platypus. But I was so excited to have found those. I could not be more excited to recover those pieces. I watched Troop Beverly Hills probably 10 times over the past week and a half. Probably 2 weeks, if I'm being honest with myself. I've watched that movie at least 10 times. It was on Tubi for free for the entire month of June, and I was so excited. That movie makes me feel better. That movie gives me life. I am on the hunt. I am on the lookout to reclaim that DVD and put it in the collection. It's one of my white whales. It's one of like 5 DVDs I'm currently actively seeking out. I have a running list of DVDs that I'm trying to find. And so I watched that playing Nintendo DS, doing bad embroidery. So that's what I did. That's what happens when you're not feeling great. But it was nice to kind of give my body a rest. My therapist tells me that I shouldn't say I'm not feeling well. It's my body is healing from something. It's a mindset shift. So that's what I'm telling myself. My body was and is healing from something. It's good to give yourself time to heal. It's good to give yourself the grace and the space to experience all of those emotions and feelings. Take the medication the doctor gives you. Actually go to the doctor, because I am the worst patient ever. Is anybody else like me? I hate going to the doctor. I hate it. I put it off until the last minute. I don't want to go. I don't want to pay for it. I don't want to sit there and listen to them tell me that it's anxiety for the 30 billionth effing time. I don't want to do it, because I am so sick of going to the doctor and explaining, hey, these 6 things are happening to me and it's really hindering my life experience. Please help. Oh, sorry, it's just anxiety. Go home, rub some dirt in it. Like, you know what I mean? No, stop. So I put off going to the doctor. I put off going to the dentist. I put off going everywhere. I hate it. So I had to go, and the doctor ended up being really nice, which was great. Shout out. What's up, Dr. Brian? He was great. And he was like, yeah, this is a problem. You have a bacterial infection. You need to lay down. What are you doing? So it was gallons of water and juice. And it was so funny. I wrap up in my favorite blanket. I play all my favorite games. The game I'm currently trying to recover that I want for when I don't feel well, it is the ultimate sick game, I feel, because it's what I played when I wasn't feeling well when I was a kid. I got them both as Christmas presents. Best Christmases ever. Oh my God. The 2010s were like the best years ever. Hasbro created Dream Life and Dream Life Superstar. Plug and play games. They just plugged into the back of your TV. You just switched over the HDMI and that was it. You just went sailing. And you were a teenager in whatever town, USA, apparently. And you created your own dream life. So you lived in Dream Life, you lived in your parents' house and you did chores for an insane amount of money, and you go to school and you sign up for clubs and you shop and you go to parties and dances, and all of it is under your control. That's the whole game. That's it. And you just do that for hours. In Dream Life Superstar, you live on your own in like a Malibu, Los Angeles looking area. You have a big arena in the middle, and based on the clubs or activities you sign up for, you become famous, or you can become famous based on that activity. So you become the superstar, and then you make obscene amounts of money and you decorate your room, and it's all of that. And it's the dumbest thing ever. It's so dumb. But I want those games so badly. I'm working so hard to get them back. I lost them. I had them both at one point in my life and I lost them. I don't know if we gave them away. I don't know if I lost them in a move. I don't know what happened to them, but they are no longer in my possession. I'm so depressed about it because finding the Nintendo DS is just a reminder of how much I enjoy childhood games when I don't feel well, and I want those back. So that's what I'm hunting for. That's what I did. That was what was on my mind the last week and a half. Medication, meditation, and regression into my childhood. So hopefully you can resonate with that. What do you guys do when you don't feel well? I would love to know if you guys have any tips or tricks. I know a friend of mine was talking about the little pastina pastas, making that into a soup. And that's her home remedy. So I think maybe I'll try that next time I don't feel well. So hopefully not too soon. I don't want to not feel well soon because that sucks. It just sucks. But, luckily I'm on the other side. So let me know what works for you and what you guys do when you don't feel well, because I'd love to hear it. Because I feel like I'm just weird. So, or maybe you guys do the same thing that I do. And maybe when you don't feel well, you just want that comfort. You just want that cozy warmth back, something that makes you feel safe and protected and like you are in an environment that you felt good in. Maybe that's what I'm seeking out. I don't know, but I'm going to try Webkins next time. Hopefully the new website will be launched by then. That's my cat. Sorry, that was my cat, Mr. Kitty. Anyway, we are moving on because I recovered just in time for the 4th of July. And the 4th of July needs a major vibe check because happy 4th of July, question mark, exclamation point. Are we celebrating this year? Is anyone celebrating this year? The vibes are off. The vibes are off this year. I haven't seen a single Old Navy tee be pulled out in any store window or on social media. I haven't pulled out any of my own. I feel like, is anyone celebrating America right now? I don't know. I mean, the only thing to rescue this could maybe be a pack of Costco hot dogs and Jennifer Coolidge. Other than that, I don't really know what's going to fix it. Because fireworks, especially in LA right now, are not the vibe. With everything that's happened in 2025 in Los Angeles, fireworks are not it. So that's a no-go. America has had a very interesting few months thus far, and I feel like if you're celebrating, I love that for you. But I'm not feeling hoorah about America, so I'm confused as to what the celebrations are going to be like. I know a few celebrations have been canceled in a few places because they were worried about attendance, but they were also worried about some raids and things happening there, which puts a major damper on the celebration of our nation. And I feel like that's very interesting. Do we celebrate this country in the midst of all of this turmoil and what feels like the potential setup for potentially something very bad happening to our country? So how do we navigate that as a culture, as a nation, as a people? We the people need to figure out how to celebrate that, because Costco hot dogs and Jennifer Coolidge just aren't going to fix it as much as we want them to. And I don't know. I don't know if like going to the beach for the day or doing things that feel 4th of July normal would be right. I don't know. What are your opinions? Does the 4th of July feel like something that should be celebrated? I know that this is coming out a day late. I know 4th of July was on Friday and this is coming out on Saturday, but I still feel like it is important to talk about since it's happening. Because I don't know. I mean, I grew up, we celebrate 4th of July. I mean, as I'm sure a lot of you do or have watching this, I was into 4th of July. I have a sweater with a big American flag on it. And we went to Catalina Island every year. And that was probably one of my favorite days of the whole year was 4th of July. I have always loved the vibes, and I've really, not the whole America thing, but just the vibes, I've always really loved the energy and the celebration and the hot dogs and the beer and the family and the fireworks and how fun it is. But this year feels different. This year feels weird. I don't know how to balance out that equation in my head of, well, I'm angry and disillusioned with one thing, but I still am a part of it and I still have things about it on the other side of my head. So how do I make those make sense? How do I bring those together? How do those two coalesce into one another? And that's been a really weird thing in my brain. And I don't know if that's happening to you. Maybe it's just me, but that's something that has been really heavy on me this year is do we talk about it? Do we pretend it's not happening? Or do we out loud celebrate it? It's tough being an American right now. It's the most confusing time in this country's history. It's the most tumultuous time, I would probably say, aside from the Civil War, which, if you know, you know. But I don't think that necessarily equates to we shouldn't celebrate anything. because that seems wrong as well. So I don't know. And I don't mean to harp on an issue, but I definitely think it warrants a discussion. I think it warrants civil discourse. I think it's important to talk about. And I think the emotional turmoil that we're all experiencing, trying to figure out which way we want to go about this, is important to validate and to discuss with people that we care about. And obviously I'm talking about it with you guys because I don't know. Are we proud to be an American? You know, are we proud this year? Are we feeling those feelings? Because I have a lot of feelings and I don't know what I feel. Because I am an American, but I'm not proud of a lot of the things happening here right now. So what to do? And I have celebrated the 4th of July in other countries. And it's the funniest experience ever. When I was living in London, celebrating the 4th of July was the weirdest thing ever because you're celebrating the independence of a group of traitors to the British monarchy. So it was like half Independence Day, half Traitors Day. It was the funniest day ever. And it was all these British people, myself and 2 other Americans. It was like, what's happening? Because it's so funny. We have voluntarily moved back. We are living in the country that our ancestors escaped from and actively revolted against. And that's the day that we're celebrating. But we have voluntarily moved right back to that country. So make that make sense in your head. And that's just like a really weird experience. And that's fun to experience as a Yank, I guess. But now it's a little less fun. So I don't know. Those are my 2 cents. They might not mean anything to you. It might mean everything to you, but I felt like it was important to talk about. I felt like it was something that needed to be said. So if you have thoughts and opinions on those, please share them down below. But again, we're going to do it with kindness. We're going to do it with grace. So if you do have opinions, please share them. I'd love to know what you guys are thinking and feeling. If you're feeling the same way I am, because this is confusion. I am confusion, emotional damage, the meme and all. So I'd love to know. Let me know your thoughts down below, and happy 4th of July, ! Firework emoji. I have no idea. But, speaking of revolting, let's talk about the fascist parade that was the Bezos-Sanchez wedding. Because what was that? If you don't know, Jeff Bezos and Lauren Sanchez were just married in Venice, Italy this past week, and it was a spectacle masquerading as a wedding. They decided to throw this wedding in a place that very clearly did not want them there. The fashion was horrid. The protesters were iconic. The protests were iconic because, oh my God, they did not pull punches. The energy was giving the final boss of late stage capitalism. It was giving, we don't care. There are people dying, Kim, and we don't care. This wedding was crazy. It's giving going to space for 4 minutes up and down and calling yourself an astronaut. Like, I don't get it. It was kind of crazy. There was actual royalty there. Oprah was there. The Kardashians were there. The Jenners were there. I mean, you name it. Tom Brady was there. Sydney Sweeney was there. I mean, the biggest question, my question is, why was Sydney Sweeney there? Like, why? She's great, but why? That doesn't make sense. I feel like that makes no sense. Eva Longoria being there, sure, fine. That makes a lot of sense. But Sydney Sweeney, I'm like, girl, what are you doing here? The math is not mathing. It felt like the Illuminati convention, but just out and proud. Like they decided to stop hiding about it. And they just were like, you know what? People know about us now. We might as well just come out of hiding. It was everyone sans Beyonce and Jay-Z. So it felt literally like the Illuminati convention just took over Venice. It was really interesting. Kylie Jenner wore a white silk corset dress. It was like an off-white. And it's like, it's giving Mindy Kaling in The Office when she's like, I look really good in white. It was an emergency. To Pam's wedding. That's what it gave. I don't get it. You're going to spend this much money to look that tacky, to be that hated, to have that shit of a wedding. I don't get it, Brenda. I really don't. This was an insane time to throw this wedding. And with all of the garbage happening in the United States, it was like $50 million. They could have cleaned the water up in quite a few states in this country. They could have done so much. They spent so much money, and yet somehow their invitations still looked like they were made on Canva by an intern going through quarter one of their graphic design school program. I just cannot get on board with everything that happened. And it's like the water is so polluted in Venice. The island is literally sinking. Have I been to Venice myself? Yes, I have. So I am also guilty of contributing to this global climate crisis. However, I did not take a private plane. I did not hire hundreds of private boats to float around the island. I did not get 200 people to invade this island. So I feel like maybe I get a little bit of a pass. I don't know. What are your thoughts on this? Please comment down below and let me know your thoughts. Please comment wherever you are listening. I must know what you thought of this wedding and that I am not alone in thinking that this was just a circus. This was just like looking at a Billionaires zoo of look at that one and look at that one and look at that one and look at that one. And like, why was Carly Kloss there? And she, Mama, you're a supermodel. What are you doing? You girl, like I love you. But what was happening? And Orlando Bloom and Tom Brady looked like a vampire. What happened there? What? Excuse? I can't. Literally, Tom Brady looked so creepy. Oh my God, ew. Giselle was just like jumping up and down, clapping and screaming and giggling and kicking her feet because he looked so atrocious at this wedding. Like, this was criminal. This was a crime. Orlando Bloom, fresh off the breakup with Katy Perry, and then took a stroll with Sydney Sweeney, which she then followed up with a stroll with Tom Brady, apparently. Who knows, allegedly. But I just find all of that to be so wild. It's just like, bro, be single for 5 minutes, I was honestly shocked that we didn't see Leonardo DiCaprio taking a stroll with Sydney Sweeney. It's all just insane. And the fact that Orlando Bloom wore all white in Venice just feels so correct somehow. I don't know. It's just hilarious to me. This wedding was a crime against fashion, against humanity, against our sanity, against the climate. This wedding was a crime against Schiaparelli. This wedding was a crime from start to finish. The fact that she made archival Schiaparelli look like Sheehan, I'm gonna leave that there. And I'm not trying to be mean, but I'm trying to be honest because that sucks. You have so much money. You spent this much money on your wedding, and yet you do absolutely nothing to better humanity, the world you live in, the community you're surrounded by, the country you live in, the people that support you. Oh, you kind of deserve it. I'm just saying. Anyway, not to have a hate parade, but I mean, the fashion was bad. I don't know. I didn't like any of it. And on top of it, you wore Dolce & Gabbana. I guess shit recognizes shit, thumbs up. Anyway, we're going to move on because I could just go on forever. It's insane because I can't. It's so bad. But we're going to move on to my main character moment of the week. And my main character moment right before I got sick, I haven't had a chance to talk to you guys about it. And I am really excited, but I've kind of had a return to form for myself. I feel like I've done so much soul searching. I've done so much work on who I am and what I want and what am I doing and what is happening. And life is chaos, but it's also really hard. And I feel like doing things that make you happy are really important, and finding time to do things that cultivate creativity and bring forward just like a little bit of joy into your day is so fun. And I kind of have made a little bit of return to art, which is great, which has been really fun. I actually returned to it with my mom, which has been a joy. It's been the best. It's been hard and it's been stressful, but in the best way possible. I fell out of painting for a little while. I was painting a lot. When I was living in London, I was painting a lot. And when I moved home, I was also painting a lot, but I kind of lost it for a while there. And for the past few years, I haven't been doing as much of the things that I love and the things that make me happy because I feel like I've been focused on everyday survival and the things that I need to do to get through the day or the things I need to do to get through the next step, because there's been so much going on in my life and I've had so many big changes in my life, and I lost a lot of myself along the way. And painting was one of those things. And I think that's also maybe to kind of harken back to what I was talking about earlier at the beginning of this podcast, is I think that's maybe why I'm focusing so hard on finding things from my childhood, is because I lost so much of that too. I lost so much of the silly little things that I used to just find so much joy in, you know? The My Scene web series, or playing on girlgames.com, you know, and Webkins and painting and collaging or going on walks, or, you know, any of the little things that I really used to love. I lost it. And my mom and I had an opportunity to paint some stuff for a friend. She was hosting this like vendors arts and crafts fair. We painted a bunch of stuff and it was really fun to get back into it. And it was so interesting to kind of get away from the noise of all the things that you should be doing and the things that you're like, oh, I have a million things I need to do today and I should be working on the computer, I should be doing X, Y, and Z, but just sitting down and painting and getting lost in it and getting back into art. Because I don't know if a lot of you know this, but I have a master's degree in fine and decorative art and design, and art history and art are a life passion of mine. And it makes me incredibly happy to be surrounded by art. And I've had some of my art shown at the Getty Museum, and I am very proud of all of that. And I feel so passionate about so much of that world, but I lost a lot of it. And getting to do it again felt really good, even though a lot of it's not great. A lot of the stuff I created was just like wild. It's just so weird, but I'm having the best time, even though I freak out when it doesn't go exactly the way I want, because I'm a control freak, especially when it comes to art, because you want art to be perfect, especially when you know someone else is going to buy it, or you hope, like fingers crossed. But I had so much fun, you know, buying supplies with my mom and shopping for things and getting ideas. And I found all of these vintage Barbie clothes, and I painted this very Andy Warhol kind of pop background, and I felt really excited to just put these in this fun arrangement, paint a background, put them up and frame it and hang Barbie clothes. And that's art. And that's like fun, crafty, upcycled art to me. But I also have a more abstract type of art that I'm trying to expand my style on. But it was really fun to get back into it. And I'm still learning to expand and get out of my head and get back into it and just relax and paint something. But I'm having a good time. I feel like when you're in your flop era for so long, getting back into something and getting your hands on something like embroidery and painting and collaging and gaming and anything that you can get your hands on is so much fun. It's so good for you mentally. It feels freeing and it feels really there's just like this childlike release from it, because you get rid of a lot of the pressure. And I'm working so hard on letting go of what I think other people think of me. That's probably my number one problem in life. That is my downfall in life, and it's the thing I need to work the most on. That's what I'm in therapy for. I am having so much fun doing it and releasing all of that. So that was a main character moment for me. That was something I had a really good time doing. And we did a fair right when I started not feeling well. I was like day 2 of this dire bacterial infection and I felt horrific, but I had the best time. It was so fun to be at this art fair surrounded by other amazing people. We met some really fun crafters and other vendors, and it was really a good time. And we're going to do another one, and I'm going to kind of advertise that the next month. So keep your eyes on that because I really want to do it. And we're kind of dipping our toes into this both feet at a time. And I'm really excited about it. So that's kind of my main character moment for the week. If you had one, please share with me in the comments. I'd love to know kind of what made you feel like you had a main character moment. I feel like that's important to share and celebrate small wins, right? I mean, the world is literally on fire and a small win is still a win. So hold on to it with both hands and take it and run with it. And that's what we're going to do. And I'm enjoying it. But I think for now, this week, that's going to be a wrap. I feel so grateful if you have listened this far to this week's kind of chaotic catch up. This was kind of a wild episode, a little crazy, a little fun, a little nostalgic, a little anti-fascist, but here we go. A little patriotic ? I don't know. How are you feeling about it? I'd love to know. If you are feeling burnt out or uninspired or just over it, remember, same, we are in this together and you are not alone. I am on your team. We are in the Cultured Club. You're a member and you're a member for life. So I hope that you are feeling surrounded by support and community and you're feeling a little bit uplifted and a little bit heard and validated after listening to this podcast. But I promise not to disappear on you again unless it is for another disease or infection. I promise, fingers crossed, it doesn't happen again because that sucked and I don't want to do that. So I hope you enjoyed this week's episode. I hope you had a good 4th of July. I'm sorry, my hair is driving me nuts. My hair is driving me insane. I'm so hot. I hope you are having a good day. I hope you are having a wonderful weekend. And I hope you have a great rest of your week. If you would like to follow, please like and subscribe. All of the links are in the description box down below. If you're listening on Apple or Spotify, please don't forget to rate and review. It is so important so that I can build this up and really get this going. I'm also going to be reinvigorating some things over on TikTok, so please follow me over there. Again, all of the links are in the description box down below. I hope you are having the best day, my cultured cutie, and I cannot wait to see you next week. All right. I will talk to you then. Mwah! Have the best rest of your day. Bye. Fabulous.